What's poppin', everyone, and welcome back to the Red Carpet Curls podcast. As always, I'm your host and the founder of Red Carpet Curls, Queen Adrienne Monroe. So today marks episode 3 of our podcast, and I thought this episode would be an incredibly useful one. So it is mid-September already, and I don't know about anyone else, but I have just started to feel the brisk first autumn winds. So I've had to pull out some light sweaters in my closet and start utilizing them. So that made me think, this might be the perfect time to be proactive and give you my 5 best winter hair care tips to make sure that you are utilizing the curly girl method in the right way during one of the roughest seasons of the year. So winter is one of the worst because the winds are just so drying. There's no moisture in the air. There's no humidity. So they can actually, if you're using humectants, they can actually strip whatever moisture is already in your hair. So I'm going to make sure to give you my 5 best tips to make sure that doesn't happen to you and you don't walk around Christmas with everyone taking photos and you have nothing but frizzy hair because you were not smart enough to take your own tips when you woke up late that morning. Jesus. Anyway, my horror stories will be your gems. Okay. So before we move in to my top 5 tips, my extensive tips at that, I want to once again congratulate the winner of the inaugural Red Carpet Curls podcast sponsored by Thermal Haircare. Once again, the prize was the mix and match set from Thermal Haircare, which included a Thermal Haircare hothead, your choice of which design, and there were over 15 designs to choose from, a pack of plastic caps to protect your Thermal Haircare hothead from the deep conditioners you're using to insulate the heat, a spritzer so that you can spritz it on the cap so that when it heats up, it's a nice, intense, relaxing experience. And of course, the gift bag. So I did announce the winner as promised this weekend on my social media, both Instagram at Red Carpet Curls and the Red Carpet Curls Facebook group. And of course, again, the winner is Miss Nikki. And she otherwise goes on Instagram as at Nikki _with_the_curls. So once again, Nikki, congratulations on winning this amazing prize. You are about to boost your deep conditioning game to a brand new level, honey. Let me tell you, I am so excited for you. I've already sent you your information to Thermal Hair Care, and they will reach out to you shortly so that you can pick the design of your thermal hair care so that they can send out your gift to you. Now, for everyone else, please don't fret. I have many, many more giveaways coming in this podcast very soon. So you have many more chances to win. Now, for today, let's move into my first of 5 winter hair care tips. The first being deep condition twice a week. Now, I know I must sound like a broken record, deep condition, but I wouldn't stress it so much if it weren't so important, okay? So deep conditioners are formulated to penetrate your hair much deeper, all the way to the cortex of your hair, the deepest layer of your hair, to moisturize and repair it from within. Deep conditioners are the only products formulated to restore the overall health of your hair. So even if you're not styling every day, even if you're leaving your hair up, if you are deep conditioning once a week, then I promise you your hair will continue to thrive. It will continue to repair itself and get healthier over time. But you cannot sleep on the deep conditioning. It's just a must. It's like I said, rinse out conditioners, while they're amazing, many are formulated to just work on the cuticle layer, the outermost layer, to just seal the cuticle layer to give that shine, okay? Now, deep conditioners work deeper than that. Now, when you pair a deep conditioner with some kind of indirect heat, like the Thermal Hair Care Hothead that our beautiful Queen Nikki just won, or my favorite, the Q-Redew Hair Steamer, or even taking a shopping bag and just doing the baggy technique, which is wrapping the shopping bag around your head and just letting the heat that your scalp naturally produces do a greenhouse effect. So since your scalp produces a natural heat, it's going to actually heat up the deep conditioner within that baggie and intensify it. It's going to allow the deep conditioner to penetrate even deeper and work more effectively, more quickly. Now, if you also want to, I almost forgot. I also use my standing hair dryer for this. So if you have a hair dryer, I got it at Sally's Beauty for about $80. It's the ones that they use in the hair salons. You don't sit down. You don't, you get a chair and you just put it there and adjust it to where you're sitting. And it rolls and all that. I love using that to heat up my deep conditioners as well. I never deep condition more than 30 minutes. Scientifically, after 30 minutes, your hair does not take any more benefit from the conditioner that it needs. It just stops at 30 minutes. So otherwise, you can throw yourself into hygro fatigue, over moisturizing your hair, too much excessive water damage. So, deep condition smart. Twice a week. 30 minutes, some kind of indirect heat is definitely going to boost it. Now, if you want to boost it even more, add more shine and more moisture, you can add some kind of raw honey or manuka honey. Don't get the regular honey because it's processed differently. It doesn't have as many nutrients. You need raw or manuka honey. Manuka honey is a bit expensive. For my small little 4-ounce bottle, I pay about $25. So I think raw honey would possibly be the best. It has all the nutrients that the regular honey doesn't. And that's basically like real food for your hair follicles. It feeds your hair follicles, encourages more hair growth thanks to all the nutrients and stuff like that. And since honey is a natural humectant, it pulls moisture, whatever moisture is around you, into your hair. This is why if you're going to use a humectant like this, the next 2 tips from now is really important. Emollients. You need to seal that moisture in to make sure that the dry winter winds are not trying to take that moisture out of your hair. My next best tip for boosting your deep conditioning game is adding amino acids for moisture retention. So you can check out my article on redcarpetcurls.com about the science of amino acids, but amino acids are scientifically proven to actually increase moisture retention. So amino acids are the smallest protein possible. It's the smallest on a molecular level. They're called protein building blocks. That's what your body and your skin and your hair is made of. Okay. So amino acids are the smallest. They're able to penetrate past the cuticle all the way deep into the deepest layer known as the cortex. Now, if the amino acids are repairing the cortex, then you're repairing the overall strength of your hair, since 90% of the strength and structure of the hair strand is in the actual cortex, the innermost layer. So the amino acids rush in there, like the bomb squad. They go in, they see what the damage is, and they basically repair it. Okay. They make sure that the structure, your internal structure, does not collapse, which would soften your or loosen your actual curl pattern. So if you have waves, it will look straight. If you have curly, it will look wavy. You have to use some kind of protein. If you don't want to use amino acids, because amino acids are very, very gentle and they focus more on moisture retention, you can absolutely use hydrolyzed protein. So I like to use hydrolyzed protein in my deep conditioners because protein essentially is like spackle for your hair strand. Any holes or cracks in the cuticle layer, it repairs that. And if all those cracks are repaired, then it holds in the moisture for longer periods of time. That's why you need protein. And not for nothing, protein attracts more moisture. It helps the moisture molecules bind better to the hair strands. So definitely try to get any kind of deep conditioner with hydrolyzed proteins in it. So like hydrolyzed quinoa, stuff like that. Amino acids, you can see stuff like silk amino acids on labels. Otherwise, you can get Bragg's amino acids from your local supermarket. It's a soy sauce alternative. And you can scoop out some of your deep conditioner into a separate bowl and mix in about a teaspoon or a tablespoon most of Bragg's amino acid in there. Mix it, apply it to your hair, leave it on for 30 minutes with some kind of indirect heat, and you're good to go. You can do the same thing with the hydrolyzed protein. Now, when it comes to deep conditioning, focus on the mid-length to the ends of your hair. That's the oldest part of your hair. Your roots, listen to me clearly, okay? Your roots never ever need deep conditioner. That's because your roots are still connected to your scalp. Any hair connected to the scalp is still connected to the hair follicles, which are being fed by the blood. The blood rushes more oxygen and nutrients to the hair follicles, which feeds the hair that is known as your roots. They don't need any more moisture. They're good. At most, you should just put water there. Now, The ends of your hair are the oldest part of your hair, and therefore the driest and the weakest, because they're furthest away from your scalp and furthest away from the sebum that your scalp naturally produces to moisturize the hair. That means it's up to us to supplement that moisture. So when you apply deep conditioners, that intense moisture, you should be focusing first on the mid-length to the ends of your hair. That is the parts of your hair that desperately need the formula. Please try to stay about a 1/4 inch away from your scalp, just so that all of your hair is getting the product and not your roots and not your scalp. Now, deep conditioning is also the perfect time to train your curls by finger coiling. Finger coiling encourages definition and basically trains your curl on how to curl properly, how you want it to curl. Deep conditioning is the perfect time to do this because, like I said, the formula is penetrating deeper. So it's repairing. And at the same time, if you're training, it's getting the message, this is how we curl. So it will continue to do it even when you don't finger coil anymore. It's basically investing in your definition. So if you need a video tutorial on the amino acids, the hydrolyzed protein, or even how to finger coil, and the thermal hair care how-to, I do have all those YouTube tutorials on the Red Carpet Curls YouTube channel. I also have how I like to deep condition using my Q-Redew hair steamer on the Red Carpet Curls YouTube channel as well. So definitely check those out for my visual learners. Now, if you're looking for some recommendations on deep conditioners, I'm telling you, you have to check out the Alodia Haircare Deep Conditioning Mask. I believe it's the Alodia Haircare Nourish and Hydrate Deep Conditioning Mask. Oh my God. It has honey, silk amino acids in it. So already 2 of the tips I gave you is already included in that formula. So definitely check out that mask. Also check out the Be My Curl Seal the Deal mask. That also always leaves my hair supple and shiny like silk. Can't go wrong with that. And it also has some hydrolyzed protein in there as well as aloe vera, which is known to moisturize the hair. You also can't go wrong with the Carmella Marie Deep Conditioner. It contains honey and hibiscus, and let me tell you, I love it so much that I ended up getting an even bigger size. I believe it's like a 12-ounce bottle. I love it so much, so moisturizing. So if you use any of those, and Elaine Beaute just relaunched. They have, for the high porosity line, they have a conditioner that doubles as both a deep conditioner and a rinse out conditioner. And let me tell you, that deep conditioner, amazing when you pair it with some kind of indirect heat. Definitely check that out. If you're not high porosity, don't worry. Elaine Beaute also has a low porosity hair mask that is protein free. So it will work fantastic for you. So I'll definitely put all the links to these product recommendations in the description of this podcast so that you can check them out. Now for my second tip. Don't shampoo too often, okay? I can't stress this enough. You have to shampoo smart. You need to, since you know now that the winter months are drying on the hair, there's no humidity in the air to feed to your hair. You need to put moisture in your hair, really, rush that moisture into your hair and lock it in. Okay, so you can't use very strong clarifying shampoos often, because if your hair is already dry and you add a stripping shampoo that's going to make it drier and take away whatever moisture is currently in your hair, and then you minus a deep conditioner. So let's say, you ran out of time and you don't have the time or the desire this week to deep condition, and you just use this shampoo to give you that clean feeling. All that's going to invite is split ends and breakage. It's going to give you dull, frizzy hair. You have to focus on moisture when you shampoo. So look for a low poo or look for a no poo. A low poo is a shampoo. It's a gentler shampoo. It does not have the power to clarify, and it produces a foam, but a rich foam. It has some oils in it, and it focuses more on moisture rather than cleansing. A no poo is basically the same thing, just the consistency of a conditioner, and it does not give any foam whatsoever to give you the maximum amount of moisture that you can get in a shampoo. Now, if you have a thirstier hair type, like the 4 hair type, so 4A, 4B, 4C, you might do better just co-washing. So for example, my favorite co-wash is the Inahsi Naturals co-wash. It is my favorite. It says it's just flipping amazing. It smells amazing, and it doesn't weigh down my fine density hair like most conditioners do. and it imparts so much moisture. So both wavy, curly, and coily would love that co-wash. So one thing to understand about using any kind of cleansing option that's not a clarifying shampoo is the fact that it cannot clarify, obviously. So eventually, after using low poo, no poo, or co-wash, a few weeks in, you're going to say, oh my God, my hair is so heavy, it's greasy, it's weighed down. This is because you have to clarify your hair. So you have to use a sulfate-free clarifying shampoo. Okay, so my favorite is from the Inahsi Naturals line. It's the sulfate-free Soothing Mint Clarifying Shampoo. It's phenomenal. But if you're looking for a store-bought option, there is also the Kinky Curly Come Clean. You can find that at Target. There's also the Texture ID Curl Clarifying Shampoo. You can find that at Target and Sally's Beauty. And there's also the Miel Organics Mongongo Oil Exfoliating Shampoo, which you can find at Target and Sally's Beauty as well. And sometimes maybe at Walmart. I would have to check. But yeah, definitely check those out. Otherwise, if you're looking to focus on moisture while you clarify, I would definitely recommend going with an apple cider vinegar rinse. So apple cider vinegar rinses are natural conditioners. That's why it has the power to clarify your scalp and your hair and then actually condition it all in the same step, locking in that moisture. So if you need a YouTube tutorial on the apple cider vinegar rinse, I do have that. I also have an article on the science behind the apple cider vinegar rinse, so you can understand more about how that works. Now, if you're looking for some recommendations on low poo, definitely check out the Elaine Beaute High Porosity line shampoo. They also have a low porosity shampoo. Tailored Beauty has an amazing low poo. It's known as the Tailored Beauty Ultimate Collection Shampoo. Inahsi Naturals has their Soothing Mint Sulfate-Free Gentle Cleansing Shampoo. If you're looking for a nice no poo, let me tell you, the Voracious Curls has a phenomenal no poo. And I don't really like no poos much because it weighs down my hair, but Voracious Curls has a great one. And again, another low poo that you can use is the Bourn Beautiful Naturals Moisture Silk Sulfate-Free Shampoo. Now, one note I do want to make about clarifying, if you are going to clarify, I would highly recommend pre-pooing first, okay? So pre-pooing, if you don't know, is the act of using some kind of oil or conditioner on your hair before you shampoo to kind of create layers to wash away the excess while still keeping your natural sebum in place. Okay, so if you are going to pre-poo, you can check out my YouTube tutorial for that. But I did come across a product actually for pre-pooing and deep conditioning and all those kind of things that was actually really helpful. And I'm actually going to purchase myself, and I figured I'd share with you. It's actually called the KapChair. They produce sleeves that you put on bottles so to heat up your pre-poos, your hot oil treatments, your apple cider vinegar rinses, even your rice water rinses. It's a microwavable sleeve that you microwave for a few seconds and then put on the bottle, and that heats up whatever treatment you're going to do. So that's especially useful. They also have something called the PUL line caps, which helps you to effortlessly deep condition without constantly having to wipe your face or having multiple caps to avoid that drip on your shoulders, because I can't stand that wet hair feeling. They're eco-friendly, washable fabric instead of using plastic. It does have pouches. The cap itself has pouches for microwavable. It has little slots for microwavable pouches to add extra heat to your deep conditioner or hot oil treatment. And they also have a microfiber towel which attaches to the base of the cap to drape around your shoulders for extra protection from getting your shoulders wet. So definitely check out the KapChair. It's KapChair. I will also have that link in the description. Definitely fantastic to use if you will be clarifying, okay? Or if you're just going to do an apple cider vinegar rinse or a rice water rinse, anything you want. It's all about looking for accessories to help you. Now, my next tip, my third, is emollients, as I mentioned earlier. So emollients are going to be your best friend. According to naturallycurly.com, emollients for hair should easily form a smooth, even film on the surface of the hair, and it should soften the hair, but it shouldn't give an unpleasant, sticky, or greasy feeling. Usually, Hair emollients include hydrophobic oils. So that basically means, oils repel water that form films on the surface of the hair, often acting as anti-humectants or sealers. So basically, if you use some kind of natural oil, like a vegetable or plant-based oil, and you use it to seal your hair, so often you see I scrunch out the crunch and I seal my ends with That's That Magic, my favorite oil. It's because the oil mixture contains sealing oils. And I know when I scrunch it into my hair and I put it on my ends, those parts are sealed. My ends, if they're sealed, that helps protect them from drying out and becoming split ends or breakage. Okay. Now, I love emollients because they help keep your moisture locked into your hair, which helps me extend my wash and goes. So instead of getting 3 days out of my wash and goes, if I properly sealed my hair, I can get 4 or 5 days. So if you use oils, emollients, butters, anything like that, they definitely help extend styles, especially protective styles, such as braiding or anything like that. Locking in the moisture like this with emollients helps to increase length retention because it dramatically decreases split ends and breakage. If you're putting all the moisture you need and then properly sealing your hair, that moisture is not dripping out quickly. It extends the days, and especially if you make sure your hair stays moisturized, like with steam or something like that, you definitely extend the days you can go. So some common emollients you'll find on labels are hydrolyzed protein, vegetable-derived oils and butters like babusu oil, mango butter, shea butter, castor oil, hemp seed oil, and jojoba oil. So remember, jojoba oil is the only oil that can mimic human sebum, and it's moisturizing for the skin, but sealing for the hair. Okay? Now, my fourth tip. Utilizing satin-lined accessories. I can't stress this enough. We've talked about it in the past. Cotton removes all the moisture out of your hair and it actually gets hair stuck. So it actually rips off. So that's why you can't use cotton pillowcases and stuff like that. Your hair, naturally textured hair, is far too fragile. You can't allow other fabrics to take away the moisture you work so hard to put in on wash day. So that's why I love to use my Lozatam satin-lined turbans. Even as I record this episode, I'm wearing one right now. I love the satin lining. It doesn't hurt my head. It stretches, and they have so many cute designs. And I also protect my hair using Lozatam headbands and head wraps. So you can check out my review on Lozatam satin-lined accessories on redcarpetcurls.com. And please make sure if you're going to order from them to use the discount code redcarpetcurls to save some money. Okay, that's why we have these discount codes for you to use them and save money. I've also been rocking my scrunchies, my satin scrunchies and scarves and bonnets, and even my satin lined shower caps from NP Tress Treats. I did talk to you about them too. Listen, NP Tress Treats is the only place I will buy my scrunchies from. So I actually bought a mystery pack from them, and then I bought a couple from a competitor. And when I got both, literally just 2 days apart, the competitors was so weak, it barely stretched for my hair. It didn't feel quality. Whereas the NP Tress Treats scrunchies were big, they stretched well, and they had so many cute, adorable patterns. So honestly, for their mystery pack, you get 6 scrunchies for $20. You can't go wrong. I absolutely love my scrunchies from them. They also have satin pillowcases as well. So satin lined pillowcases, scrunchies, scarves, bonnets, satin lined shower caps. If you have satin lined everything, trust me, this is retaining the moisture in your hair and it's giving your hair the extra TLC it needs. Definitely look into satin lined outerwear as well. So Grace Soleil has a lot of satin lined caps, baseball caps, and outerwear. Even baseball caps and outerwear for your hair that are all satin lined. But one of my favorite places to get satin lined outerwear, like the winter hats and stuff, is actually from one of my girls that I met from church. Her name is Selena. Her business is Satin Crowns Collection. Let me tell you, I bought, I believe, one scarf from her that was so cozy and warm. Let me tell you, I am always cold in the winter. I was not then with those scarves. And then I got 2 satin lined outerwear caps, and let me tell you, it kept my curls moisturized and protected, but it kept my head and my ears warm. So definitely check out Satin Crown's collection on Instagram. Definitely check out my girl, because let me tell you, I am not one of those friends that says, hey, since you're my friend, I'm going to hook you up, I'm going to plug you. No. If I don't like your product, I will tell you that. I am a woman of integrity. And when I tell you Satin Crown Collections has the best winter satin line caps, it is the God's honest truth. So definitely check it out. And finally, we have made it to tip number 5, which is strategize your styling routine. Okay. Now, I know you're probably thinking, strategize. What is this girl talking about? Leave-in and, gel. That's it. Boom. Or mousse, whatever. Now, like I said, you have to strategize your routine. The winter is basically your opponent. It's basically your battle. Are you going to go against your opponent in battle with no strategy whatsoever? No, you're going to get slaughtered, bro. And it's not going to be pretty. And the equivalent of hair slaughtering is nothing but frizz and breakage. God forbid. And I will not let that happen. I'm just not. Not while you're listening to my show. It's just not going to happen. So since the winter months can be super drying on the hair, try more cream-based moisturizers for heavier protection. So curl creams and stuff like that. And I know my fine-haired ladies and my wavy-haired ladies are like, no, my hair gets weighed down too quickly. The only reason I say this is because the cream moisturizers, the curl creams and stuff like that, they have the emollients you need to seal in that moisture. Okay. Gel can sometimes suck some moisture out depending on which gel you're using. And the store-bought gels can have some alcohols and stuff that are not totally CG and maybe reacting with you, as opposed to like the more natural gels. But the best thing that you can possibly do is to just go a little bit heavier. So for my fine and wavy haired ladies, pea-sized amounts and just really work it in, focus on raking it in and working that product in well so you have maximum coverage. And for my coarser haired kings and queens, definitely just focus on heavier cream-based moisturizers or butters if your hair does better with butters, okay? Inahsi Naturals has a fantastic butter. Bourn Beautiful Naturals actually has a really nice whipped hair butter that has hibiscus flower extract in it. So definitely check out that. You can check out my review on all Bourn Beautiful Natural products on redcarpetcurls.com, as well as Inahsi Naturals. And while you're going to go a little heavier with the cream-based moisturizer, make sure to go a little bit heavy with the gel as well. So gel is responsible for hold. That is what's going to hold your curls into place, hold that frizz-free look for longer periods of time, and secure that look so that you don't have to wash every 2-3 days. Okay, so that's what's going to lock it in. You can use some hairspray, CGM hairspray. There's a couple options in the Red Carpet Curls albums in the Facebook group. I am also updating the Pinterest and stuff like that. So just bear with me. I am just one person. But definitely just go a little heavier with cream-based moisturizers and a little bit more gel. Also, definitely utilize steam. Since it's water in a mist vapor, it hydrates and softens your hair without having to fully re-wet your hair. And it raises the scales on the cuticle. That way, if you are going to apply more product or more water, it seeps in more effectively and more quickly. So for me, I love utilizing the Q-Redew hair steamer because it is the only hair steamer that has one consistent temperature. I never ever recommend clothing steamers, like garment steamers or anything like that, just because those can actually burn your scalp. They are not meant to be used on your hair. So please, I know you see it a lot on YouTube and stuff like that. Please don't use garment steamers on your hair. Just, invest in a Q-Redew hair steamer instead, because that's the safest way. Steam also, like I said, it extends wash and goes. So instead of day 2, I get day 3, day 4. That means less washing since you're getting hydration more often from the steam. And that means using less product for hold. It also cuts through buildup and encourages and stimulates hair growth for your scalp. And it also keeps your scalp moisturized as well. And this is the key to length retention. Make sure to focus the steam on your ends because, like I said, it's the oldest part of your hair and it is the driest. It is what needs the most moisture. Okay, I mean this. Your ends need tender love and care. Okay, your ends are your babies. They're the most fragile. And if you focus the steam there, so for example, when I deep condition and I use my Q-Redew hair steamer, I make sure to use it in a diffusing motion. That's why I say to look at the YouTube tutorial. I use it in a diffusing motion, but I focus on the ends, making sure that that product is penetrating as quickly and as effectively as it possibly can, because I am not trying to have split ends and breakage since it is so common in the winter months. Now, and finally, you want to utilize protective styles. Okay. So the less manipulation, the better. If you are just washing your hair, deep conditioning it, sealing it, and doing a protective style, and using some kind of satin, trust me, your hair is going to thrive. You're not going to need to manipulate it constantly. You don't have to wet it every day and all of this. You go by what you need when you need it. So if you need a refresh spray, use a little bit of water and aloe vera juice together. Boom, there's your refresh spray, but you don't need to overdo it. So the less manipulation, the better. The less combing, the less brushing, the less, raking your fingers through your hair. The less, the better. So for my curly and wavy haired listeners, you might do better with updos and high buns and stuff like that. Those are your versions of protective styles. Now, as well as twists, braids. French braids are very popular. I wish I could braid. I'm terrible at braiding. Twists are more my bag. You can also do bantu knots or side twists into a bun. Get creative with the protective styles. Remember, your hair is part of your personality. Your crown is how you express yourself. It is how you show the world your individual personality. That's why I prefer my turbans and stuff, because they have beautiful patterns that make me feel confident. Not only is the satin protecting my hair, but I know this cute pattern is expressing to the world, I am Queen Monroe. I love my bright colors. I love my fun. And I'm going to show that. I'm going to express that. However I walk into a room, you bet your booty my hair is going to express how I'm feeling that day. So these are just some of my best tips. I could literally sit here and talk your ear off forever about what you should and should not be doing. But honestly, these are some of my best tips that I can give you, that I promise you, these are the secrets that any influencer are going to give you, and educators and stylists are going to give you. Make sure to deep condition twice a week. Add whatever you need to add: amino acids, protein, honey. Check out the Alodia Haircare deep conditioner, the Be My Curl Seal the Deal, or the Carmella Marie deep conditioner, the Elaine Beaute conditioner, any of those. Using emollients to seal in that moisture is crucial to keep that shine. Not shampooing too often, focusing on shampoos that focus on more moisture, or co-washing more often, or using apple cider vinegar rinses to cut through that buildup once a month, but still naturally condition your hair. There are many, many options. That's what I want to stress to you about the Curly Girl method. It is not a right and wrong way of doing things. Don't do this, don't do that. It's not about perfectly frizz-free curls every single day. It is about finding the habits that just encourage your hair to thrive, to continue to grow, to continue to repair and protect itself. That's what the Curly Girl method is about. Finding better alternatives to your hair care to keep your hair growing and thriving. Okay. What else did we talk about? Satin lined accessories. I told you, Lozatam, and MP Tress Treats. Definitely check out Grey Soleil. They have some awesome satin lined caps, as well as my girl Selena. She has her company for satin lined winter caps and stuff called Satin Crowns Collection. You can check them out on Instagram. That is Satin Crowns Collection. And finally, we talked about strategizing your styling routine. Try to use more cream-based moisturizers. Try to go for a little heavier protection, something that contains oils and butters. Try to use a little bit more gel for more hold. You can add hairspray for more hold as well. Try to utilize steam like the Q-Redew hair steamer. It is a must. It extends your wash and goes. It helps you use less product. It helps you let your products penetrate even better. Utilize protective styles. These are the key things that you can actively do every single day to make sure that you get that waist length hair that you've been looking for. So again, thank you so much for joining me. Seriously, I hope you enjoyed these 5 CGM winter hair care tips that I gave you. And just make sure if you need any of the make sure if you need any of the tutorials and stuff like that to check out the Red Carpet Curls YouTube channel, the Red Carpet Curls Instagram, and of course, our flagship, redcarpetcurls.com. So I will see you guys next week, and I hope you put these tips to good use. Bye, everyone.